Tax fraud in the construction industry is an issue that's always been present, but I would say over the last 3 to 4 decades has really kind of spun out of control. In order for our trades to continue to grow and be viable career paths, we have to do something about it. I mean, it's incumbent of all of us, right? We need the tradespeople to build the houses and the high-rises and the hospitals, the hotels, the highways, right? And I mean, those of us in the United States or those that have newly immigrated here, like they can find a promise in a better way of life. But it's an industry that we have to get under control because right now it's bad out of control. The tax fraud business practice or business model, if you will, we've seen it historically in residential markets and industries that have been unregulated. When I say unregulated, what I mean is that there's no payroll compliance. So this same business practice has kind of gone unchecked and it's bled over into the commercial construction industries. In the commercial side of construction, you'll have a large general contractor secure a big project perhaps, right? Condo, maybe a high-rise. And they will put this up for subcontracting. And they will chop up the scopes of work, everything from dirt to drapes, to subcontract it to different trades, right? So there'll be an actual subcontractor who would bid the work at a certain square footage. They're awarded that work at a certain labor rate, and then they basically repeat this process here yet again, and they'll use now what we call as a second-tier subcontractor. So that first contractor who actually secured the work, we kind of call them a first tier. They generally have a payroll that is certified, right? These are people that are on payroll, they're having state and or federal taxes withheld from their pay. Whereas that second-tier contractor is generally an LLC, and they generally don't have people on payroll. So when we go on construction sites and we see a Tier 1 subcontractor who appears to be the one actually doing the work, when we dive deeper and actually talk to the workers, we find out that they're not employees of contractor 123 ABC, right? They're actually employees of usually it's an individual's name, LLC, it could be a John West LLC. And these folks aren't on a payroll, right? They're paid cash, where there's no state or federal taxes being withheld. Those state taxes are what fund a lot of things that keep our communities running. The biggest problem with this is that it makes it an undesirable industry for young people to get in. Here in the United States, we continue to talk about how we have a shortage of people in the trades. It's this subcontract tax evasion that really deteriorates the standards in that industry. We in the Carpenters Union are calling on everybody to understand that this is an issue that is creating deficits at our state government's level, at our federal government's level, and it's incumbent on all of us to do something about it. And it begins at your local level. As a parent myself, I've got kids that are in these public schools, and that's what I want to ask these superintendents. What type of payroll accountability do you have in place to ensure that the folks that are building our schools are on a payroll? The folks that are building our schools are paying taxes to fund the next school and to fund the next thing that we need in our community. So it's time for every single member of the UBC to stand up, to be heard to those who are accountable, right? Those elected officials in our communities. And then that's just going to multiply up to the state levels and up to the federal level. We have to change this.